Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to another Two Farm Boys video. In today's video, guys, we are going to be talking about the new-ish hay equipment we got, which you guys haven't really seen. Now, if you have been around on the channel for a little while, you will remember that back in September of 2019, I got some hay equipment, which was a Ford 515 sickle mower and a Ford 513 bar rake. Now, I took the sickle mower back. It was far away from where I lived because I bought it on Craigslist, and I didn't measure the 3-point hitch, which was a stupid mistake. I've learned my lesson on that one. And basically, the sickle mower wouldn't fit on my tractor because it was too wide a frame for my 3-point hitch. So we ended up taking that back and keeping the rake. The only reason I got the rake was because it came with a deal with the sickle mower. I forget exactly what the deal is, but I think I got the rake for about $1,000, and the sickle mower was like $1,400. I forget exactly what it was, but I got like $200 off if I bought the pair together. And at the time, I didn't realize that there was something called the drum mower that I could get for my tractor, which essentially didn't require hydraulics and was not a sickle mower, because sickle mowers are a big pain in the butt, but this thing is a little bit different. So we're going to go ahead and talk about that, and then we'll talk about the other thing I bought. I bought is a CCM 165 hay mower. It's 5 feet and 4 inches, so it is on the smaller side, but our tractor is only 41 horsepower in the engine, and that's pretty small for hay equipment. We didn't originally plan to make hay with it. We didn't originally plan to do 90% of the stuff I do with it today. So I had to buy this CCM 165 mower because it was the biggest thing I can get for this tractor that's not a sickle mower. But you can go way faster than a sickle mower with this drum mower. So I bought it in January of 2020, and I didn't tell you guys about it because I wanted to keep it for this video, but you've probably seen it in the background of some of my other videos sitting in the shop because it's been around for a while. And that is a very good investment I made. It's actually almost too much for my tractor. Like, my tractor has the power to run it, but if you pick it up, it really feels it. And I know drum mowers and disc mowers are going to have that problem because it's so much weight off to the side, or it's so much weight towards the back, because see, this one doesn't use hydraulics because my tractor doesn't have hydraulics, so it just swings back, and then it weighs a lot on the back, and it's really tippy. So it's almost too much for my tractor, but it's the best I can get for the compact tractor that I have. My tractor is about the largest size of a compact tractor you can get. It's right at the top, right below a utility tractor standard. So it's just the bare minimum of what I need for this size of haying I'm doing. So this is about the best I can get for this size of tractor. If I want to upgrade any larger in the future, I'm probably going to have to get a larger tractor, which I do plan on one day if I start making enough money to justify it. That's the mower we've got. It works pretty good. It's a rebranded Turkish mower. It's called CCM, but they just rebranded it essentially, and I don't actually know the name of the Turkish company. I can't really pronounce it. I got it on Craigslist again for about $1,600. That's a pretty good price for this particular mower. It's done great so far for the price I paid and for the size of my tractor. So I'm really impressed with that. I don't actually have a tedder, so this equipment I'm listing off in this video are the bare basics. So I don't have a tedder to dry the hay if it gets wet, but our neighbors used to cut hay for us until I bought my own equipment, and he didn't own a tedder up until about 10 years ago. So tedders aren't essential. A lot of people think they are. Sometimes they can decrease the quality of hay, and even though I do want to get a tedder, and just in case it got rained on or whatever, it's not a top priority. Honestly, a larger tractor would probably be higher up on my priority list than a tedder. But then again, my hay hasn't gotten rained on yet, so I'm probably going to change my tune once that happens, which I'm sure it will. Anyways, so that's $1,600 for the mower. That's $1,000 for the bar rake. Now, like I said, I did get a deal on that, but then we took the sickle bar back. I could have gotten that rake for a lot cheaper. I've found some rakes for like $300 used, and they still work. And I'm not saying, you should buy the crappiest equipment in the world, but I probably could have found something a little bit cheaper if I fudged a little bit more. But, the rake works well for what I paid for it, all the same. Anyways, we'll move on to what probably everyone is here for, which is the square baler. Now, I got a New Holland 273 Hayliner square baler, and it works not at all. It hasn't worked yet. So I bought it from the local John Deere place. That's actually the first piece of equipment I've bought for the hay operation that wasn't from Craigslist. And you would think like I would have problems with the Craigslist equipment, but nope, it was actually something I bought from the John Deere dealership. Now the listed price on this baler was for $2,500. I think we have negotiated down to $2,000. We haven't actually paid for it yet, but that's what we were talking about. I was paying about $2,000 for it. The deal we made with the dealership was we would pay for the baler once we made sure it was working. It has kind of worked. I baled probably 50 bales with it, maybe more than that. It was probably a little bit more than that. We baled some hay across the road, but it was skipping bales, and we tried to fix it. It was working okay at first, but then it started skipping a bunch of bales. Probably every 2 or 3 bales it would skip a knot. And if y'all don't know, square balers are notorious for having problems with knotters. It's a design that's been around since the early 1900s, but no one's come up with a better design for it because it's such a complicated system. And it's all mechanical because this baler's from the 1960s, early 70s, I believe. And it's considered one of the most reliable balers ever made from New Holland. So it is a good baler, but it hasn't been used for probably a year is what they were thinking. And when you buy something that hasn't run for a year, it's going to have some quirks. You're going to have problems when you buy a baler that hasn't been run in a year, obviously. And we've already troubleshooted what the problem is. I can't actually fix it. A lot of the stuff on these old balers you can fix because it's mechanical and stuff. But this actually has a bar that's bent. I'll try and show a picture on screen now. It has a bar that's bent, and we need to essentially heat that up and bend it back so it's straight because it's attached to this one piece of the knotter assembly that's catching this twine when it knots, and it doesn't knot properly because of that. Now, I don't have the equipment to heat up a metal bar and bend it back, so that's getting sent back to the John Deere place. They're going to take care of it for me, and then they're going to bring it back, and hopefully I'll finally be able to bale some hay with it, with my neighbor's baler. If y'all remember from the first time I ever baled hay, I borrowed his baler. He has a New Holland 69 square baler. It's very similar to this one. We use that, and that works like a champ. It's actually been rebuilt, so that helps a lot. So I used that since this one wasn't working. I borrowed that from the neighbor, and hopefully I'll be able to use my own for these custom cutting jobs. But more than likely I'm going to end up buying this baler if there's no major problems, and that will be the last piece in my hay fleet, as I call it. What we use to pick our hay up with, because it's just a square baler, it doesn't have a bale wagon to go behind it because our tractor can't tow that anyways. What we use to pick the hay up is good old-fashioned manual labor, and we use a 12-foot utility trailer with hook behind our GMC Yukon. Now, if y'all have not watched my haying videos before, and you're new to the channel, haying is probably my favorite part of the farming experience. I've been doing it since I was like 2. I've been helping our neighbors who used to do hay all over the county. I just stopped by on my way home from school, and I just helped them pick up hay when they did a lot of square bales back in the day, and I've been obsessed with it ever since I was little. So I'm very excited that I've finally gotten my own hay equipment and that I can finally start making my own hay and doing custom cutting jobs, hopefully sell a bunch of hay, and obviously make our own hay for horses and cattle and everything. So I've got a lot of videos actually I've filmed ahead of this one. I just wanted to let y'all know what I will be using for my equipment, so you don't just see this random equipment pop up and you're like, hey, when did you buy that? So I just wanted to make this video and introduce y'all to what I've bought over the winter and gotten ready for hay season. But anyways, that is pretty much it for this video. I should have our first square baling video coming out in the next week or 2.